Let's talk about a truth that will save your peace and maybe your future. You can forgive someone fully and still decide they don't get access to you anymore. Because forgiveness is not a backstage pass. It's not a key to your house. It's not unlimited texting. It's not you can still come to my house when you're lonely. It's not you can still sit in the VIP section of my life like nothing happened. And if you've ever had that weird guilt like, if I really forgave them, why do I feel the need to protect myself? I want you to listen closely today because sometimes people must be escorted from the VIP section of your life to a regular seat. Not because you hate them, not because you're still holding a grudge, not because you're petty, but because access is earned. And not everyone who's familiar with you is good for you, is safe for you. So today we're going to pull forgiveness apart from access, cleanly, spiritually, and practically, so you can protect your peace without being cold-hearted. Stick around. You don't want to miss this. Hey friend, welcome back to Ways of Change. I'm Vanessa and this is day 63 of my overseas job hunt journey and the bigger journey of learning how to protect my peace while building my next chapter. And if you're new here, welcome. Hey, I document the real life behind the scenes, the applications, the waiting, the mindset work, the faith, the boundaries, the emotional pivots, all of it. Because the truth is, it's not just a job hunt. It's a reinvention. And today's topic, today's topic is personal. Because the older I get, the more I realize peace isn't something you find. Peace is something you protect. Let's get to the job hunt update. All right, quick job hunt update for today. I applied for an administrative officer position in Kaiserslautern, Germany. Yeah, Kaiserslautern. And I want to say this for anybody who thinks administrative means small. But administrative is where the systems live. Administrative is where the operations live. Administrative is where the backbone of the mission holds up. It's the kind of role where you're not just checking boxes. You're making sure the mission breathes. So yes, I applied. And yes, I'm staying consistent. And I completed my engagement hour on LinkedIn today. Yay, I'm back on track. I was in the comments showing love, building visibility, staying in the community. And one of the posts I commented on hit me right between the eyes. It said, sometimes people must be escorted from the VIP section of your life to a regular seat. And I said, oh, that's today's episode. Because that sentence is a boundary wrapped in wisdom. You know what's wild? A lot of us were taught forgiveness, but we were never taught discernment. We were taught be the bigger person, keep the peace, don't hold grudges. Family is family. Friends fight, just move on, right? But nobody taught us how to forgive and how to still be wise. Nobody taught us how to love people and still choose distance. Nobody taught us that forgiveness can live in your heart while boundaries live in your calendar, your home, your nervous system, and your access list. So today we're going to fix that. And I'm going to start with a story. Because once you live through betrayal from somebody in your VIP section, you stop romanticizing access. The story that cracked this open for me, the one that forced me to separate forgiveness from access, was about a person I truly loved. We'll call her Sarah. And let me be clear, Sarah wasn't a casual friend. She wasn't a we talk every few months kind of person. Sarah was front row, VIP. She was the person you call when your voice is shaking. The person who knew parts of my life that I didn't post. She knew what I was praying for. She knew what I was scared of. She knew what I was building and what I was trying to survive. This was the type of friendship that makes you feel like, okay, I'm not alone in this world. Somebody sees me. And I don't know if you've ever had that kind of connection with someone, the kind where you can finish each other's sentences, laugh so hard your stomach hurts, and start making plans like you're going to be old ladies on the porch together. That was us. So when things started getting rough for her financially, my heart naturally leaned towards help. That's just who I am. I'm a helper by nature, and honestly, I'm a fixer if I'm not careful. So I did what most of us do when we love someone. I showed up. Not just with words, with resources, with I got you, girl. Don't worry, we'll figure this out. With little things at first. Lunch here, gas money there. The bigger things, I'll cover it this time. Then emotional support on top of that. Long calls, late nights, prayers, encouragement. And at first it felt good. It felt like love in action. But then little things start feeling off. And it wasn't dramatic. That's the part people don't tell you. Betrayal is rarely loud at first. It's usually quiet. It's usually disguised as a misunderstanding or a rough season or stress. It was small stuff. A story that changed slightly each time she told it. A forgotten wallet that happened too often. A weird vibe when money came up, like she was watching too closely. And I noticed myself doing that thing where you talk yourself out of your own intuition. You ever done that? Where your gut whispers, pay attention, but your heart says, don't be like that. She's your friend. So I ignored it because I didn't want to be suspicious. I didn't want to be cynical. I didn't want to be the kind of person who looks at someone in need and assume the worst. And if I'm being honest, part of me wanted the friendship to stay perfect so badly, I was willing to explain away the red flags. Until the day I couldn't. The discovery wasn't some movie scene, no big confrontation at first, no yelling, no instant justice. It was me, on a regular Tuesday morning, sitting there doing what responsible grown folk do, checking accounts, paying bills, making sure everything is where it was supposed to be. I remember it so clearly because my body reacted before my brain caught up. I saw a transfer of $500. And I just stared at it like my eyes were playing tricks on me. Because I knew I didn't make that transfer. And I knew there was only one person who could have. And at that moment, I felt this cold drop in my stomach. Not just because of the money, but because something deeper broke. Because it wasn't the $500. It was the reality that someone I trusted, someone I prayed with, someone I loved, someone I would have defended, had crossed the line that didn't have accident written on it. And let me tell you something. When betrayal comes from the VIP section, it hits different. Because strangers can steal from you like that. Only someone close can do that kind of damage to you. Only someone with access. So yeah, I confronted her, and it was messy. At first there was confusion, the denial, then deflection, then tears that felt complicated. Because are you crying because you're sorry or crying because you got caught, you know? And eventually the truth came out. And after that, it was like the friendship got quiet. my mind got loud because now I had two wars happening at the same time. One war was the pain, how could you? The other war was the guilt, but you have to forgive. And people around me, well-meaning people, started saying the classic lines. Don't hold on to that. Forgive her. You know God wants you to forgive, right? People make mistakes. Maybe she was desperate. And I understood what they meant because I didn't want bitterness. I didn't want to carry rage around like a backpack. I didn't want to become hard. So I did the work. I prayed the prayers. I cried, I journaled, I processed. I let the anger move through me instead of in. And I got to a place, I really did, where I could say, I forgive her. Not because it was small, not because it didn't hurt, but because I refused to let it change the softness in my own heart. But then came the part nobody prepares you for. After forgiveness comes the request. Because when you forgive someone, they often assume that means, so we're good now, right? So I can come back, right? So can we get back to normal, right? So can I have my seat in the VIP section again? And when she said it, and when she wanted that closeness again, my whole body tensed. Because forgiveness had happened in my spirit, but my nervous system was like, whew, absolutely not. And that's when I realized I was standing at a crossroads. Do I choose forgiveness or wisdom? And that question messed with me because I thought they were opposites. But they're not. Forgiveness and access are two different conversations. And that day I had to stop confusing them because forgiving her didn't mean I was required to hand her back the same access that gave her the opportunity to hurt me. And y'all, that lesson changed my life. It did. And this is the part where it finally clicked for me because I realized I was trying to answer two different questions with one single decision. One question was spiritual. Can I release this? Can I let go of the anger, the need to replay it, the desire to make her feel what I felt? But the other question was practical. Is she safe for my peace, for my finances, for my private life, for my heart, for my future? And when I separate those two questions, the guilt started to break. Because I saw it clearly. Forgiveness is something I do inside of me. Access is something I manage around me. Forgiveness is me clearing the poison so it doesn't live in my body. Access is me protecting the door so the poison doesn't keep coming back in. So yeah, I could forgive her fully and still change her seat. Because forgiveness isn't a backstage pass. It's not a key. It's not automatic trust. It's release. And what comes after release is wisdom. So if you've ever felt that tug of war, I forgave them, but I don't want them close. I need for you to hear me. That isn't hypocrisy. That's growth. That's discernment. That's you finally learning the difference between a clean heart and an open door. Now let's talk about how to do that without drama. How to escort someone from VIP to a regular seat with peace in your spirit and clarity in your life. Here's the sentence I want you to tattoo on your brain. Forgiveness is spiritual. Access is logistical. Forgiveness is what you do so bitterness doesn't move in and start paying rent in your body. Access is what you do so chaos doesn't keep showing up and calling it love. Forgiveness says, I release the debt. I'm not carrying this anger. Access says, but you still don't get to sit next to me. And some people hear that and say, oh, that's cold. No, it's grown. It's wisdom. It's emotional maturity. Because here's the truth. Some people don't want reconciliation. They want re-entry. They don't want to rebuild trust. They want to return to the benefits of being close to you without accountability. And that's not forgiveness. That's self-abandonment. So let's make this plain. Your life is a stadium, and not everyone gets the same seat. You got your VIP section, your front row people. They get your vulnerability, your private thoughts, your time, your access, your real emotions, your decision-making space. VIP is earned. Then you got your regular seat folk. You can be cordial with. You can interact, but they don't get close enough to destabilize your nervous system. Then you got your nosebleed people. You wish them well from a distance. You're not even mad, just wise. Access is restricted because intimacy without trust is emotional debt, and you're not financing that anymore. So when we say some people must be escorted from VIP to a regular seat, that means you're not cutting them off in a dramatic way. You're simply changing the level of access. Here are some signs somebody shouldn't be VIP anymore, in case you're confused. You feel drained after every interaction. You second guess yourself around them. You feel the need to over-explain your boundaries. They misunderstand you often, but only when it benefits them. You feel guilty for needing space. They punish you when you're not available. They only show up when they need something. And let me say this gently, but clearly. Not everyone who calls you friend deserves front row benefits. And not everyone who shares your blood deserves VIP access either. Because family is not a permission slip to disrespect you. All right, let me anchor this spiritually. Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. That's not a suggestion, that's wisdom. Guard your heart doesn't mean hate people. Guard your heart means protect what influences you. Because everything flows from your heart, your choices, your confidence, your peace, your relationships, your future. So if someone repeatedly poisons your spirit, destabilizes your emotions, manipulates your love, you can forgive them and still guard your heart. And guarding your heart looks like moving them out of VIP. Let's train the mindset here, because the hardest part is the guilt. Some of you don't struggle to forgive. You struggle to stop giving access to people who keep proving they can't handle it. So here are the mindset truths to practice. Truth number 1, forgiveness is not a reward for them. It's a relief for you. Truth number 2, boundaries don't mean bitterness. Boundaries mean clarity. Truth number 3, distance can be love with wisdom. You can love people and still choose space. Truth number 4, you don't owe closeness to someone who harmed you. You could be kind without being available. Truth number 5, your peace is not negotiable. Not for history, not for familiarity, not for nostalgia, not for they've always been that way. Now let's get practical for a minute. How to escort someone from VIP to the regular seat. Decide the new access level. Write it down. Group settings only, no more personal info, no last minute favors. Texting only, no phone calls. I'm not discussing my career plans with them. Specificity gives you power. Communicate only if necessary. You don't always owe a speech, but if you need a script, option A, calm and clear. I've forgiven what happened, but I'm changing the level of access I give in my life. I wish you well. Yeah, option B. For my peace, I'm taking a step back. Then you have option C. That doesn't work for me. That's my favorite one. Step 3. Hold the line. This is important. People who benefited from your lack of boundaries will react to your boundaries. That doesn't mean you're wrong. That means the boundary is working. All right. Grab your journals, grab your piece of paper, whatever you got. It's journaling time. I have 3 prompts for you. Prompt number 1. Who currently has VIP access to me that hasn't earned it in this season? Be honest, no judgment, just clarity. Prompt 2. What does guarding my heart look like in one specific boundary this week? Name the behavior you'll change. And prompt number 3. Where have I confused forgiveness with re-entry? What would it look like to forgive and still keep the distance? All right, friend. It's day 63. We're done. But before we go, remember this. You could be forgiving and discerning. You could be loving and boundaried. You could release the anger and still restrict the access. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do for your peace, your future, your reinvention is escort somebody from VIP to a regular seat. If this episode hit home, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the rest of this journey. Like if you're choosing peace in this season. And drop a comment, a regular seat, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Thanks for being here today on day 63. Guard your heart, protect your peace, and stay steady. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.